Good morning, everybody. Psalm 18:30. As for God, his way is perfect. The Lord's word is flawless. He shields all who take refuge in him. So that kind of is related to the last post that I made and some of these YouTube channels that I've been seeing that talk about like cultivating femininity and stuff like that. I feel like the world that we live in doesn't really respect femininity and kind of tries to take advantage of it and really distorts it. I think that in 2019, what we call femininity is really a distortion of femininity. And all these people are talking about they want women to be more feminine and stuff like that. I'm always very curious to know what their ideal is of femininity. I would love to know that. No one's ever said that. And like I said in my last channel, I'm mostly talking about, like I said in my last post, sorry, I think I messed that up. These channels that I'm referring to, they mostly have Black audiences and they're made by a Black person. Now, for a myriad of reasons, I mean, you could probably write an entire book on it, but Black women, their femininity has not really been cultivated in that way. Like, there has not been an opportunity really to cultivate that kind of femininity. So I just kind of feel like, listen, if you are not cultivating that kind of femininity, do not criticize someone else for not being feminine. And there's enough blame to go around. Femininity needs to be protected. Women need to feel protected in order to have this delicate flower of a woman that people say that they want. When people say that children need to be respectful of adults, children are being failed, honestly. Adults are not showing a lot of leadership. Adults are not providing safe environments for kids to grow up. Even in homes, I don't know that a lot of children are being provided with a lot of safety. You can open up the newspaper or, watch the evening news and hear tons of stories about children being treated pretty terribly in their own homes. So there's that. And masculinity kind of gets torn apart and kind of lampooned almost. So you cannot complain about men not being masculine and then at the same time kind of clown men. You cannot complain about women not being feminine and at the same time not protect women and not do something to cultivate that femininity. I mean, femininity is work. All this hair and makeup and nails and stuff like that. It is time, it is money, it is work, it is an investment. So if you are not doing something to kind of help invest in that, you cannot complain about a woman not being feminine. Let's be totally honest. Black women, for the most part in America, are living kind of on the, most of them, a lot of them, I'll say, a lot. I'm not going to say most, because I know at one time most blacks in America were middle class. That statistic is old. I don't know if it's still that way. But let's just say, for example, if you're a woman who has a job where you have to work hard and then you use mass transit and you live somewhere like Newark, New Jersey, and you're taking the subway home, how delicate and feminine do you really want this woman to be? Like, she cannot survive and present herself to the world as this delicate flower when she's taking a bus home in Newark, New Jersey, or Detroit or Miami or whatever. I mean, it's not realistic. And a lot of these channels, I think that they're well-meaning, but they're just not realistic. So I said all that to say that we need to try and follow God's ways and God's laws, at least in our own home. Outside of our homes, we don't have a lot of control over what goes on in the rest of the world, but in our own homes, we should try and magnify the Lord and his ways. Oh boy, I gotta go. I'm about to be so late, like later than usual, but this was just like on my mind this morning, and I didn't want to wait all night because I may be too tired to do it later. But anything that you want, you need to cultivate in your own home. Be realistic. Don't sit here and pick people apart when they're probably just out here trying to survive, and study God's word and God's laws. And remember that God's ways are perfect. Because, like I said, I do think that it's a good thing to try and cultivate femininity in women, but a lot of these channels, they don't put God in it, so it kind of comes across a little bit squirrely, and it turns into like yet another gold digging channel, which honestly is another form of desperation and hopelessness. So, like, these girls have just given up. They've said, well, I'm probably never going to find a man that I actually respect and care about, so let's just try and squeeze him for some cash. So, anyway, I just threw this together real quick, just like I throw the rest of this stuff together real quick. So, once again, that is Psalm 18:30. As for God, his way is perfect, the Lord's word is flawless. He shields all who take refuge in him. I do believe that there is a structure. Children are supposed to feel protected if you want them to be these sweet, innocent, respectful little children. If you want these delicate, sweet, super feminine women, they need to be protected. And if you want masculine men, that needs to be respected. Everyone has a part to play. And if you yourself are not contributing to the solutions, then you should probably just kind of be quiet and just take what is being offered in the world. So, thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful day.